Hey guys, what's up? It's 8-Bit Eric, and today we are going to talk about World War Z on the PlayStation 4? Wait, I'm reviewing a PlayStation game? Wasn't I just a little Nintendo fanboy that doesn't play anything else? No, you're wrong. Sure, it has been a while since I've covered a different platform. Most notably, the most recent one I think was Red Dead Redemption 2. I don't get games on the PS4 too often, but I managed to get a review copy of World War Z. I really wanted to check it out. This looked like something that I could definitely sink my teeth into. It's loosely based on the movie of the same name, and there's a whole bunch of zombies and teamwork, co-op type of gameplay mechanics and things like that. And I just wanted to see, is World War Z worth checking out for the PlayStation 4? So guys, go ahead, if you're brand new, throw a subscription, and let's go ahead and begin today's video. So World War Z, as I mentioned, a zombie game that is loosely based on the movie that came out quite a few years ago. I found it kind of random that they decided to release a game based on a movie. I don't know if they're making like the, because I know there was a novel as well, but is there something going on that they're going to do with the branding of this? Because if so, then making a video game was honestly not a bad idea. Now, most movie licensed video games usually end up being garbage. So going into this, I had low expectations. I wasn't expecting this game to be anything remotely entertaining or interesting. I was like, you know what? It's a zombie game. It looks like it has decent graphics. It looks like there's a lot of action and franticness with the zombies just jumping and surprising you out of nowhere. And I went in with very low expectations. And I got to say immediately right now, they were exceeded. Now, I try not to put the bar too low when it comes to, third-party games or AAA games coming on the PlayStation 4, but I'm going to be completely honest. It seems like every game that does get hyped up ends up not meeting that hype. I enjoyed Red Dead 2 initially, but then afterwards it kind of fell flat. And the same was with Resident Evil 2 Remake and so forth. Games seem like they are brought out and they just kind of feel like the same thing over and over again. So with World War Z, I decided, you know what, I'm going to go in with an open mind, but not really too hyped on it. And I was actually happy, like beyond happy with what I saw. I wasn't expecting this game to be anything remotely decent. And actually, I think World War Z is actually rather fun to play. Now, the gameplay is, there's two different options for the campaign. You could choose to go solo, offline, so you'll have yourself and 3 other partners that are computer AI'd controlled players. Or you could do online co-op, where you can play with yourself and up to 3 other people that are playing the game as well online. Think kind of like The Division. The Division has you do co-op campaign online. You have different, partners on there, and you complete the missions. Now, it plays similar to Division. That's a good comparison, where you guys go on missions that have you doing a number of tasks, something from like defending your area that you're in, defeating a swarm and making your way down to like a boat, or finding a radio, or protecting somebody. It's standard stuff, when you see these types of games, and it's actually quite enjoyable. Now, the premise is you work together, you clear the missions, all 4 of you guys. Once in a while, you might have to heal somebody because they fall down. It really plays a lot like The Division, and that's not a bad thing. I personally liked The Division. I think it's an underrated series, and I liked seeing that type of gameplay here. It does get a little repetitive, and I would say at times it seems like the missions drag on quite a bit, because you go and you make some progress, and then you stop and you have to defend, build defenses even. You can find certain items on the stage like gun turrets and traps and everything, and then you wait for the swarms to come and attack you. And the swarms are actually really impressive. There's a ton of zombies on screen when this happens. Absolutely no slowdown. Everything remains intact. The frame rates, everything like that, finely tuned with this game. Very impressive with that, but the missions do get a bit repetitive. It's kind of like you start off, you have to defend an area from a swarm, then you go to another part of the map, you find an item, then you go to a different area, you fight another swarm, and it just seems like some of the levels do drag on a little bit, but not enough to where you don't lose interest in the game. I will be honest with that regard. So like if you're playing, the reason why this is important is if you're playing by yourself with no partners and you're just doing AI, it's kind of boring, to be quite honest, and the AI isn't the greatest. I mean, it's computer controlled opponents and partners, so usually when you have computer controlled partners with you, they kind of fall into traps and they get killed a lot and they just do stupid crap. But so do players online as well. I think the game is much more enjoyable playing with people online, even though some people could be total idiots. It's much more enjoyable because you can chat, you can, strategize, and it's more interactive, I would say. And I think that was cool that they had the option for it to be online compatible. And, the story mode is actually able to be played around differently. You don't have to play from like mission 1 to like the final mission. You can actually just join in on a quick play and it'll just give you a random mission out of all the episodes. There's a few episodes in here that have a couple of acts in each of them, but you do not have to play them in order. I think that's fun. You're able to just log on, choose quick play, and it'll matchmake you with some other people. So yeah, and for the most part, the missions all control the same. There's weapons that are throughout all the stages that you can find, and every once in a while you do find an area where you can refill your med kits, your ammo, and things like that. So it does a good job of making sure that there's little areas where you can get a breather and everything. It does kind of cut into the action just a little bit, but it does rush you. If you stick around too long, zombies will populate, zombies will spawn, everything like that. So the game does keep the action going. It's just sometimes it's like, God damn, how long is this stage? In other words, it's a nice game. It has good action, good length, everything like that, other than just the repetitiveness, which to me just gets a little tedious for me. Now, going forward with the rest of the game, there is multiplayer. And this is actually similar to Call of Duty, to be completely honest. You have a variety of different modes, like capture a certain area, find a vaccine, which is kind of like capture the flag or keep away. You have team deathmatch, which basically is Call of Duty. And everything is just here pretty standard affair with a multiplayer game. And it's actually really well done. I had a lot of blast playing deathmatch. I mean, I'm like a Call of Duty fan. I don't talk about it too much, but I do enjoy death matches in video games. I'm surprised there wasn't a battle royale mode, to be quite honest, with that being the rage. But yeah, it's interesting because a lot of these modes also have swarms and zombies that are littered throughout the stage. So you could be playing against another team, the red versus blue team, and then a swarm of zombies come in and just add a different variable factor to it. And it was very interesting. I like the way that they did their take on the online options. Now, in regards to the zombies themselves, I'm sorry if I'm jumping around a little bit. Mentioning the zombies and how many of them are on the stage is actually impressive, but at times it does suffer from zombies just kind of spawning in weird places and jumping out at you, like literally materializing like Thanos or some shit right in front of you and jumping on you, and it gets a little frustrating with that. There's not much else in the way of pop-in as far as any other things spawning up just right in front of you like that. Also, the AI of the zombies, even though I know they're supposed to be zombies and they're not supposed to be the brightest tools in the shed, sometimes they literally could just be standing right next to you, not attacking, and that kind of is funny because, you could be in like the middle of like 10 zombies and only 2 of them are attacking you, so there is a little bit of issues with that. But overall, the game is honestly not too bad. I was thoroughly impressed with how World War Z performed and looked and just how it kept my attention. Again, I was very worried that since this was a movie licensed video game, that it was going to be garbage. And I know I play a lot of garbage on this channel. I know a lot of people mention, a lot of stuff that I cover is shovelware and stuff. And the reason why I do that is because I want to take the opportunity to play games that people might be interested in and just haven't bought it yet. They're on the fence, and I gotta be honest, I was on the fence with World War Z before I decided to make an effort to get a review copy of it and try it out. And the fact that it has a solid online multiplayer experience both for the campaign and multiplayer for me is enough for me. I think that's more than enough price of admission for playing the game. Now sure, years from now when the servers aren't dedicated towards that, it's going to go the way of like other games go. You know, you're not going to be able to play it eventually, but there is still an offline campaign mode that you could really enjoy. There's a lot of content, a lot of missions, a lot of unlockables, skill trees, everything like that. It's basically everything that you would like from The Division and Call of Duty wrapped up into one zombie game. So I will say on the 8-Bit Eric game grading scale, I will give World War Z a solid 7.5. Let's say 7.5. There was a little bit of things that nicked it down from an 8 that I mentioned, you know, like the artificial intelligence, the tediousness, stuff like that. I would have liked to seen a little bit more creativity with the layouts and stuff of the missions, you know, and kind of like not so much of the same thing over and over, but it is not game breaking. It is entertaining long enough for me to have actually enjoyed playing it. So guys, that's it. This was World War Z. Thanks a lot, as always, for watching. Again, if you're brand new to the channel, feel free to throw a subscription. Don't forget to comment down below and hit that like button. It helps the channel out immensely. And I will see you on the next one, which will probably be a Switch video. Peace out. Consider supporting 8-Bit Eric on Patreon for just $1 a month. Link below in the description.
3,